who has been an excellent partner to most of the civil society organizations that advocate and promote human rights in Venezuela. A significant number of them are here in Washington for the Inter-American Commission meetings or hearings. So we're taking the opportunity to have them here. Also, I just wanted to let you know that after Kramer's remarks, we're going to have a panel where we're going to be joined by the people here. We also have from our board of directors, Mr. Ramon Jose Medina, who joined the delegation, and he's also the executive secretary of the Mesa de Unidad Democrática. And I want him to join the panel also because there are going to be some political questions for him maybe on the situation. I thank you very much for the time, and I leave you with Mr. Kramer, and I'm going to be moderating afterwards the panel. Thank you.
And my thanks to the Center for Democracy and Development in the Americas for inviting us to co-host this very important event. Freedom House is really pleased to be represented here this evening, and your insights and contributions here in Washington have really been critical in raising awareness about the situation in Venezuela as well as the whole continent, and we at Freedom House are really proud and pleased to be partnering with you this evening. On behalf of Freedom House, I would like to welcome everyone to this evening's event on the state of human rights in Venezuela, an incredibly timely event. First and foremost, I want to thank our Venezuelan speakers for joining us here this evening in Washington during what is a very difficult and challenging time for them back home. And we really do look forward to hearing about your experience and your expertise and observations from on the ground. As we all know, it is very critical that we raise attention to what is taking place in Venezuela right now, and hearing your perspectives today is incredibly important to us. This event and the visit of our speakers could not come at a more timely moment. Since February 12th, the streets of Caracas and dozens of other cities across Venezuela have swelled with the largest popular protests the country has witnessed in over a decade. Students have led the charge and been joined by citizens from all walks of life, demanding greater accountability from a government that fails to respond to worsening food shortages, soaring violence, and a failing and unsustainable economy. Venezuelans are facing the biggest test of democracy in their country in decades. The role of civil society and the international community has never been more important in bringing the country from the precipice of collapse and toward a more democratic future. Over the last few days, I've had the privilege and honor of meeting with a number of this evening's speakers and others from Venezuela. The picture they have presented is quite bleak. Shootings and beatings in the streets at the hands of state authorities, imprisonment and torture of protesters and prominent opposition leaders, widespread media and internet shutdowns. I've heard about the current situation and that it is arguably more violent than the watershed protests in 1989 Caracas. They lament that the violence and disregard for human dignity they've seen over the past few weeks is unlike anything they remember seeing in their country before. Perhaps most distressing is the lack of action on the part of hemispheric leaders and international institutions. While the citizens of Venezuela, and especially its youth, are bravely risking their lives every day demanding accountability from their government, most of Venezuela's neighbors, unfortunately, remain at best uncertain and at worst unwilling to help facilitate a credible and peaceful dialogue.